Hi everybody, I am SS the Showstopper and today is the 8th of December 2023. Now I've seen the videos and I decided that I wasn't going to speak on it until I got more information. I wanted to vlog on the topic, yes, but I delayed because I was waiting to see what more was going to unravel. If you hear noise in the background, also please excuse. There's some workmen and stuff going on, and so it may affect the audio. However, I decided that I wasn't going to speak on it until I see what's going to come to the forefront. Now I'm seeing more and more information coming out, and that's the topic on Diddy, where we're seeing wherein Cassie filed a lawsuit against him. He settled it within 24 hours, and yada yada yada. Another female, however, since lately have come out to the forefront, and she's filing a lawsuit also that he and someone else essay her. We saw where former R&B singer Aaron Hall, he did an interview a while back and he was speaking on being with Gloria Velez, who is a former video vixen, I think late 90s, early 2000s. She was a video vixen, always in music videos and stuff like that. And he spoke of getting with her and saying that I think he admitted that she was 16 years old at the time. Gloria Velez, however, did an interview and she spoke that she got with someone, this R&B artist she was with, and she was actually 16 at the time. So it was confirmed that she wasn't an adult at the time when she was intimately involved with him. Now this woman has come out and filed a lawsuit against Diddy of him essaying her, him and someone else. And, Diddy has denied the claims and denied the allegations. However, this female decided to post a photo saying that she isn't lying. And the photo is of her sitting in Diddy's lap, taking a picture, and she's saying that she was 17 years old at the time. Now I'm looking at all of these persons who are coming forward after Cassie filed a lawsuit, and I'm saying that at 16 years old, at 17 years old, you know what you're doing. You're not stupid. And this is not about victim blaming. People are speaking as if a 16-year-old is of absolutely no idea what the world is, doesn't know right from wrong, doesn't know good from bad. You know when you're in an inappropriate situation at the age of 16, you know when you're in an inappropriate situation at the age of 17. And so why would you be putting yourself in a situation like that where you are around full grown men at a club, as was the case of Gloria Velez? You're putting yourself in a situation being at a club at that time, club open at night, late at night, and you're at a party with these high rolling men. Also, a 17-year-old, you're sitting in Diddy's lap. What's the argument behind that? You understand? Not only that, we are the parents at the age of 16 and 17. You should be in bed. You should be in your bed at your mother and father's house. You should not be out and about with full grown men. Now I'm going to get to them, but I'm starting with these young females. Also, from time to time, I've been seeing in the media where people speak of black girls being fast, being, very, promiscuous, I guess, at an early age. And a lot of times people don't speak on the fact that they're being sexually harassed, they're being sexualized, they're being exposed to a lot of gross and grotesque sexual content at a very early age. These are topics that people really do not speak on. They only speak on the young females that are being promiscuous and stuff like that. And we all know teenagers tend to be very rebellious. They tend to not listen. They tend oftentimes, not in every case, they tend to not listen to their parents. They tend to want to do as they please, whether girl or boy. In this case, we're talking about females, teenage girls, that is. They tend to be very rebellious. They tend to not listen to their parents, and they tend to want to do what they please when they believe that they're old enough to make conscious decision. But they don't realize that, listen, there's so much more to learn, and there are certain things you will not know at 16 that you're supposed to know at 25, at 30, at even 40. You simply will not know it at 16. You have to get to those age in order to know it. And this is where parents come in. This is where family members come in. This is where the community comes in helping to raise you so you can understand yourself and know that there's something called self-value, self-esteem, self-respect as you go along. And you want to use those tools to guide you to becoming a healthy and wholesome young woman. A lot of times you don't listen because you're hot, you're bothered, you have the raging hormones going on. And so, yes, you want to be intimate with someone. You want to engage in these things because you're seeing the images. You're probably exposed to them inappropriately. And because of such, then your hormones start developing and it starts sends you wild. And in case a lot of persons don't know, hormones are dangerous chemicals in the brain. It can affect you, it can make you do things, or it can provoke you to do things that are abnormal, things that are unnatural, things that you really aren't supposed to be doing at a certain age. And because of such, it's important for parents to guide. It's important for teenagers to listen to their parents. It's important for teenagers to listen to guidance counselors, to listen to elders who are more mature, who are more respectful, who are decent, who are wholesome figures, and understand that even if they make mistake as an adult, you are not an adult. They will be held responsible for their actions. In your case, someone else will be held responsible. And not every person is going to take a beating lying down or want to be held responsible for things that you choose to participate in. And persons who are pushing sexual content to you are predators, are pervert. They're not your friend. It doesn't matter how much they help you with a meal, with a nice clothes, nice jewelry, accessories, hair, this, that, nails. It doesn't matter. Once they're pushing gross and grotesque sexual content to you at a very early age, that person is not your friend. And a lot of teenagers fail to understand that. They think that because the person is around, the person is there for them, the person is putting them on, I guess giving them opportunity, that person is automatically their friend. No, they're looking for ways that they can capitalize on your vulnerability, ways that they can exploit you, and they go laugh with their friends later and they move on, or they move on, and or they move on to the next victim. So this is a very serious topic. And if more and more teenagers listen, if more and more persons who are adult take responsibility and know that you don't expose teenagers to certain content, it matters not how mature they act, how they want to behave, you don't expose them to these things. These are things that adults in the society, not necessarily a parent, but as long as you're an adult, you don't expose teenagers to these things because they're going to feel within themselves that they're big enough, they're bold enough to take it on. So they become very disrespectful to parents, they become disrespectful to guardians, to elders, to other family members, and they simply get out of control. And so with that being said, we're moving on to the other side of the spectrum where Diddy is concerned. Who knows if Diddy knew the age of this female? Who know if Diddy knew, or if Aaron Hall, I guess had admitted in an interview that he knew Gloria was 16, and he sounded like a pervert because the things that he was saying was very facetious. He didn't show any care, he didn't show any concern that she's a young female. She's 16 years old, she doesn't know much. He was like, if she allow me to be me and do what I do and know how I perform and I'm well endowed, this and that, those are very arguments of a person who is quite the pervert. You understand? And a super predator also, because he's trying to masculate himself, I guess, by saying these things, thinking that he looks cool or he looks more manly. I don't know, something is going on. But anyways, with the case of Diddy, nobody knows if Diddy was aware of this person's age. But I'm looking into it also and saying that if you're a full-grown man in your 30s and you're pulling for girls who are 18 years old, 19 years old, what makes you won't pull for a 17 or 16-year-old? What makes you won't pull for a 15-year-old? The age difference is not very far. And the level of maturity is not very far either. Or not, there's much growth in the mind frame of a 15 to 19 years old. There isn't much growth between that age gap. Yes, there are teenagers out there that are well thinkers, critical thinkers, that, they are above the average because they have a certain amount of IQ to them, and so they're able to make rational decisions, but that still doesn't mean they're not susceptible or prone to make errors just like other teenagers. According to science, they say the brain stopped developing at the age of 25 years old. And so we would still think that a person at the age of 19 and 18 isn't yet fully developed or have that amount of experience or have been engaged with that enough elders in order to make standard critical decision all day, every day. So you being an older person at the age of 37, what conversation is it that you could possibly have with an 18-year-old or 17-year-old that you think would be wholesome, that you think would be helping your bad boy record label and stuff like that to move it to the next level? What? Explain that to someone who is also a critical thinker. Explain that to a well-mature adult who is also a critical thinker. You are going, if you think that you can have that kind of wholesome business kind of conversation with someone that age, you will think that of a 15-year-old. that you also can have that conversation. No, I'm just saying that no one knows for sure if Diddy is aware that this person was underage. No one knows for sure if she's even speaking the truth. We have seen a photo we haven't seen wherein she was sexually assaulted. I'm also looking at the photo and they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Based on what she's wearing, it seems as if she's wearing a very short shorts or a very short skirt, sitting in a grown man's lap. You are 17 years old. You are also aware of what you are doing. This is what I'm talking about. I don't see where you were in a handcuff, you were chained anywhere, you look unpleasant. Well, they blot out the face, so we can't speak on the facial expression, but we don't see where there is any form of discomfort to you wherein you were placed in a position against your will. It seems that a 17-year-old was basically promiscuous and decided that she wanted to be around the company of a successful rich man who she can perhaps get by in life with. That's basically what we are seeing. Way too much of it is taking place in the black community, but also people will capitalize on you if you are a disobedient, if you're a disrespectful, rebellious child. I always say a rebellious teenager, it's like Christmas for a predator. They will go after that because they know you're not going to listen to anybody except them. And so whatever it is that they have in mind, you're simply going to do it because they can toss you a few dollars and you're going to think the world of it because you don't know what responsibility is. You don't know what it is like to be responsible, to be a critical thinker. And so you're going to see these things as sugar rather than it is pepper. You understand? And it's a sad situation on both ends. It's a sad situation. And like I said, time and time again, this has become a national pastime in the black community wherein men or grown folks will prey on young teenagers. We have seen it. It has been a national pastime. We have also seen the victim blaming. We're saying that, oh, she should know better because she's young and stuff like that. Yes, she should know better, I'm sorry, because she's not an idiot or she's not a handicap and stuff. I totally agree that she should know better. And that's why I speak on kids should be respectful to their parents. Teenagers should understand that elders are trying to guide you on a positive path so you can be a better woman of tomorrow than even they were or your parents were. And a lot of times they don't listen. And so when things come into play, yes, a guy can go to prison, but you have that shame to live with for the rest of your life. You have that trauma to live with for the rest of your life. And so that's the reason people will come out and say, you should do better. But let's just say all things are equal. Teenagers are immature, they're disrespectful, they don't think, they don't listen. It's not your duty to capitalize on their vulnerability. It's not your duty to capitalize on the fact that they are disobedient. But in the word of a predator, they're not going to see it that way. They're going to see it as she came looking, she came hunting, and that's not my fault. That's her fault. You understand? They're going to look at the fact that, did she tell me her age? I don't think she did. That's also a defensive argument. Anybody can't look at a 19-year-old and tell that the person is 19 because people do look older than their age. A lot of people do act older than their age. Doesn't mean that they're more respectful. Doesn't mean that they're more wholesome. They just act more older than their actual age. So these are things that we have to look into. I'm just, it's really disgusting. It's really a sad situation. I really don't, see any good coming out of this. And persons are saying that from Diddy decided to sue the Diageo brand for millions of dollars due to racial discrimination and stuff like that, and withholding his liquor, which is Ciroc vodka, and Deleon that he's promoting. This is where all the debauchery came in after. So Medium decided that she was going to foretell it and say 5 months later Diddy's going to have a problem. But if the argument was out there and the detailed information was given that he was suing the Diageo brand, and they in fact threatened him to stay silent or to remove it or to retract it or face the consequences. Now we're seeing 5 months later, all of this has come to the forefront and it's unraveling. And he's in a deep quagmire and we don't know how he's going to get out of it. If he's guilty, I'm not concerned. People are talking about Diddy's sexual orientation. I'm not concerned if the guy is homosexual or not. And people shouldn't be either. I find it very strange the United States, that claim to be such a liberal country, everybody's topic is Diddy and his desire to see a big penis on a man. People are not concerned about the SA argument, the RAPE argument, the sexual assault argument. Nobody's focusing on that. Everybody's focusing on the sexual orientation part of it. It's like that's a part that spike your interest. You're not concerned if these people are actual victims that are coming forward. And I think that's what the topic should be on. I'm not concerned if the guy, and me saying that as a Jamaican that's from a homophobic country or homosensitive country saying that. I'm not concerned if Diddy is gay or not. That's his business. I am concerned as to whether or not he was capitalizing or exploiting young people, sexually exploiting them, capitalizing on their vulnerability, abusing them, turning out men to be homosexual or to do homosexual act to him in order to get signed, in order to get leverage, in order to pivot their career or parachute their career to a far. These are the things that I'm concerned about, because if such is the case, it's extremely dangerous. Persons have also said that he was linked to Clive Davis, and we all know Clive Davis was the head of Columbia Records from the 60s, also the 27 Club that they've reported on, where so many artists were being killed or dying out at the age of 27. That Clive Davis. And they said that he had a lover, and they were saying that Diddy was his lover, yada, yada, yada. And Diddy had to do sexual favors to him in order for him to get the finance to establish Bad Boy Records. I don't know if these arguments are true, but if it is, then probably he's learning from somewhere. So he turned out he got turned out, he's turning out people. It's like the butt breaking slavery mentality and mindset haven't gone anywhere. It was still here, it was here all along, and it's in entertainment. And that's kind of like what we're looking at if we're going to take things from the broader spectrum. So I'm just concerned. I will watch and see how we play out and see if these allegations are in fact true. Because if it is, like I said, there will be so many producers, so many artist managers, so many persons out there who will be guilty of the same thing. I've been in music, I've been in entertainment, and I spoke about taking a break from it, not just because of my finances, but because of the it was SH, I should say, the S harassment. It was just way too much. And my advice is, if you're a young female and you're going into music, whichever genre that is, you decide to go into music. If you do not have strong male security behind you or strong family members that are going to be there every step of the way, do not do music, because you need security more than you need the resource. Trust me. You need the security more than you need the resource. So if you don't have that type of person behind you, that engine behind you, that strong security behind you to stand firm and have your best interests at heart all day, every day, do not pursue music, because you're going to end up doing things that you didn't know, things unimaginable, things that you would normally do. You're going to think twice about it, thinking that you're going to get somewhere in music when you actually not. And if you're a young man, I give you the same advice. Just, be careful out there. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for your time. I'll continue to watch and see where this case is going or where this matter is going. If there is anybody out there that's going to have something to say or confirm or deny these allegations, because it's extremely serious and it's created a ripple effect in the entertainment industry, and people need to be very careful. So thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.